Alright guys, what's up? So, we got some trades going on today, got some penny stocks, some options. There's honestly way too many trades to probably show them all. There's like, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different stocks, each with like 5 to 10 trades, so I don't really want to go through all of them, but I'll go through the main ones. I'm going to have to edit this video guarantee so that it's not like a million years long, so I'm gonna do that. Anyways, let's get right into it. So ADIL was one of the big movers for today. So when I caught it here, it had just come up past this resistance of $3 that I saw, and I saw massive volume right here. Or sorry, right in here was before I got in. So I get in here at pretty much $3. I think I got in at 302 or 303. And I was selling up towards the halt, and then I was re-adding and then selling and then re-adding and selling and then re-adding again because I have a profit cushion with my average on the way down. Down towards here. And every time I add lower, it just moves up my average a bit. So I was always much above my average. That's why I could keep adding as we got higher and higher and higher, because my risk was much lower. So I'm an idiot as usual, and I didn't record that, but I did record, I did record this. I started recording at like 10:50. I took a bunch of trades before that, and I'll show you, but let's go over this ADIL trade. I was trading Square at the same time. I'll go over that right after this. Okay, so before we miss it, these were the trades that I said that I just entered from ADIL. First entry at $3. That was 500 shares. Sorry, is that music too loud? Let me turn that down. Okay, so 500 shares, and then I was selling, I think, 300, and then adding 300, selling 300, adding 300. So we're coming out of the halt right now, and I'm looking for a push to sell almost all the shares. So we get a push here towards 375, and I start trying to sell the shares. I get 200 shares out there, and then I bail the rest out on the bid at 365 just before it drops, because I saw on the time and sales and on the level 2 that it was dropping. We'll watch that again. So we're unhalted. We're surging up through this big buyer right here. I want to get my shares out. It's starting to fall again, so I bail on the bid just before it drops, but we're actually consolidating here, and we actually, as you can see on the daily, we have room up until $4. So that was my original plan. I know there's going to be a secondary trade in here, so I'm just waiting for the surge past the highs of, what was that, 374 was the high or something like that. So I'm all out. I'm just waiting, letting this candle kind of form a little bit. We're kind of stalling out here in the 60s, 65 on the ask. We're getting a little bit closer, 66, 60, 72 there. I add at 72 for the break of 74 because that was the previous high. Just for a little quick squeeze. I knew there'd be maybe 10, 20 cents available. So I'm in that for 500 shares. And then just as it pops, I sell for 500 shares. I think that's 15 cents. On 500 shares, I added $80 or $70, whatever that math is, to the realized. And then that was close enough to $4 for me that I was like, all right, that's it. What else happened here? So then I lost a big chunk of it. I'll show you where that happened. So it came back down. I tried to catch it with like 100 or 200 shares, and then I lost some money there. Because you saw I was just up 260, right? So I was kind of just trading it in here, selling it on these pops, and trying to re-add on the bottom. I got some good fills here, and then I was selling again on the way up, and then trying to re-add, and then selling. And I got caught, or I almost got caught in this right here. Thank God I didn't, because I had a stop loss, a hard stop. You guys need to use hard stops. Not even just for discipline. It was just so fast I couldn't even stop out of that. If we go in, what time is that? 11:37. If we go to the 5 second. 11:37. If you look at this, that happened within the first 5 seconds it dropped here, and then consolidated for 5 seconds, and then this dropped within 5 seconds. I'm telling you it was more like 1 or 2 seconds. So it's really, really hard just to even just grab it quick enough or to sell out fast enough. So you need to have your hard stops. Don't forget your hard stops. So what else happened after that? We started to hold these levels. So I noticed we were holding over 303. We were holding over $3, and we started to make higher lows here. So I really, really like this. Let me get rid of most of these lines so it makes more sense. So this was just such a nice trend line. So this was made with this top and this top. So if you scroll back, you know, you can see it's just these two. And then as we ran up, we sold off when we hit it. I didn't think we would drop much further than that. So I bought in here, held through a bit of a pullback because I saw this trend line. So I knew that we could still go higher, but I didn't get the best entry. And then we came up and I sold again, and we were still holding yet another trend line. This one, it depends if you use the top here or the top here, but the point was that we were making higher lows and consolidating into this kind of flag pattern here, or this pennant, whatever you'd like to call it. That's actually more of a pennant, sorry. So I knew that all of the shorts that were getting trapped and stuck in here would get squeezed if it broke out. Now, I missed the 335 entry, and I got in 20 cents higher. So that's how much conviction I saw on this. I got in as it was flying through, so I was really never down on that trade. And then as we got above this level here, 370, we consolidated, we bounced, and we came back down to it. We bounced. As we came up to high of day here at 389, I sold 300 of the 500 shares, or 300 of the 600. I sell about half of the shares at the first target, and then I re-added them down here. So now, instead of my average being here, my average is, you know, right in here. So, which is still under the support of 370. That's what's crucial, because if it gets under 370, I knew that we were probably screwed. So it was holding 370. I was trying to add as close as I could to 370. We came back up to high a day. Boom, I sold another half. We came back down. I added a little bit higher, as you can see, because I didn't think we would get quite down to 370. And I can't time it perfectly, of course. And then as we broke through high of day, so high of day at the time was 389. If we draw that in here, 389. Then, so we flew up, we kind of built a flag here, or a pennant, and then we surged through, and I sold, I think, almost all of the shares. I think I sold 400 or 500 of the 600. I could go in here and look to confirm, but I think that would take too long. It's somewhere in here, but I sold more than half because I knew that the big resistance on the daily was at $4. Because if you look at the daily, the resistance is right here at $4, and that is the most important resistance. So I got out most of my shares there, and then I got stopped out on the rest on the way down, and then I haven't touched it since, because like I said, if we get under this 370 level again, then I think we're doomed, and we already had the move. So that was that. Great trade. Unfortunately, I lost some of the money. I think I was down to like $100 before this trade or something like that, and then this brought me back up, or maybe I was actually closer to break even. I can't remember, because I took a bunch of paper cuts in here. So that was good. What else can I show? Not really sure. I took a bunch of kind of small scratch trades on, like, NBEV was one of them. I'll just show it. I was trying to buy on support here as we broke out of this level. We came up, we tapped it, back down, we came up, broke through, came back under it, broke through again. So as we came back down to it, I said, okay, this could be a good dip buy for a target up towards maybe $7. And if I'm wrong, I just get stopped out and it'll probably go down. And that's exactly what happened, and I only lost $23, so I was keeping the loss really tight there. Again, using a hard stop because this flushed pretty fast. like a good 10, 15 cents. So hard stops really removes emotion from the equation, of course. And I put it at a level where if it hit, I knew my thesis would be wrong. So if this didn't hold, then I knew I was wrong, and a good level I just decided to put was 652 or 6. Maybe it was a little bit higher and I got slippage on the way down, but sure enough, when it got back under, it hasn't even touched it since, and it's been trending down. So ASNS was another kind of paper cut. I don't remember why I got in this. I got in with really small size, and then I lost just a tiny amount. I won't even bother with that. Now, Square and Netflix were my last two big winners. So Square, we sold off in the morning. So if we go to the 5 minute, because I use the 5 minute for these, if we sold off all morning, and this was the confirmation candle for me that we were headed downwards. So I waited. I just waited for this whole thing, and it came back up, and right in this area. I can't remember, again, the fill. I have so many orders. Square. It's not showing me the time. I don't know. Square, the Square puts, as you can see, I bought most of them here at 80 cents and was selling up towards $1.30, $1.16. So I was kind of adding. Like I sold, and then I added again, and then I sold. So this was at 10.10. So if we go back to SQ, I can show you 10.10. Yes, it was right on this candle right here. As we came back up and tested the red to green, that's where I bought them. And then I was selling on the move back down towards low of day. Now, as you saw, I sold most of them in here because I was scared that we would actually hold this level here, this low. So I think I sold most of them in here. And then re-added, and then tried to sell again down in here. So that was Square. Sorry if this is getting rambly. I feel like it is getting rambly. Netflix, I traded just at the open. It was kind of sloppy. So I was trading the calls right at the open. So if we look at Netflix, we flushed all the way down, and I took the calls at this level right here. This is yesterday's close. This is a consolidation area from yesterday, and it's also a top or so from the day before. So 275 for me was a big level. I started buying the calls, I think just under pre-market low, so I was buying like 1, 2, 3, I think. And then I sold 2 of them as we came up towards pre-market highs up here at 279. And then I believe I added again right here, but then I stopped the whole thing out right here. So if we go back to the calls, yeah, you can see I sold, and then I re-added. I re-added a little bit too early, and then I had to stop out of the whole thing right here, and I didn't take a trade after that. So that was most of the trades. I did lose on Netflix puts. You know, I was down like almost 200 bucks on those. Down $50 on a different. Sorry, I accidentally stopped the video there. So like I was saying, I think I was down. I had a bunch of losing trades too, very small ones. Like you can see here, Yico was small, NBev was very small. I don't like. I don't know. I went over these two, but the Netflix puts I lost almost $200 on. I was just kind of trading those a little sloppy at the open. So yeah, no, today was great. I let my emotions get the best of me. I was getting a little greedy with these. So where did I take those puts? I'm pretty sure I took the puts on Netflix. 955. 955. Yeah, so after I screwed up the calls, I thought this was confirmation that we were going lower. So we had this candle that was under this level, and then I took the puts right here, and we surged up, and I believe I added 1, and then I had to stop out because I was approaching $200, which is my absolute max loss, which is way more than $100 that I wanted to lose per trade. But I was up nicely already on Netflix, so I said, okay, I'll give it just a tiny bit more room. And then unfortunately I lost 187 on that, so whatever, it's fine. I'm still finishing today up pretty nicely, and what I need to learn for the coming days or whatever is that this was more of a chop day. Now, I'm not sure if it was obvious that this was a chop day. I mean, we're in the middle. We're in, like, kind of the middle of this channel around here, and there's really no reason for anything drastic to happen today. So I should have known to take my profits a little bit earlier at these defined levels rather than waiting for a bigger move and kind of getting greedy with it. But with that said, I think I still played it really well. I'm not sure if I went over ADIL in the sense that I definitely overtraded this. And while each of these candles is like 1 or 200 shares, when I kept adding and selling, so it's really not as bad as it looks. There was still far too many trades in here. My commission is $50 on ADIL, I think, something like that. Yeah, and 57 cents. So that's a little bit much, even with the profit that I made. Now, this move could have happened. This move could have easily happened like right here, but maybe I should have waited a bit longer. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Hopefully this is useful to you guys. You can kind of take your own information or use out of it. But with that, I am absolutely sick of talking already, and my mouth is dry, so I'm going to shut up. And this is probably like 20 minutes. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.